Queenstown Lakes residents will get to decide within a fortnight if they back a proposed 5% bed tax to tackle the growing burden of visitors to the tourist hotspot. The Queenstown Lakes District Council today revealed details of a plan to impose a bed tax on all short-term visitors. Our Otago Southland reporter Timothy Brown has the story.
Mayor Jim Bolt says the choice for residents is simple. Back the council's proposed bed tax or pick up the bill, which could be hundreds of millions of dollars over the next decade.
Well, the alternatives are either significantly increased rates, in some cases an increase of up to 35%. The other pathway, of course, is simply for us to slow investment in infrastructure and suffer the consequences of that through further congestion and failing infrastructure, which I don't think is anything that our visitors or our residents would find acceptable.
Jim Bolt believes most locals support the proposal and says many accommodation providers have contacted him supporting the measure and noting something needs to be done. He wants to see a strong voter turnout for the referendum. If more than 50% of those who vote back the plan, the council will take its plans to central government.
We'll present the outcome of that to government, along with our analysis of how a levy could be implemented and operated. It'll then be for central government to determine the next steps that they take and to develop the appropriate legislation.
A visitor levy would need to go through Parliament. A bill allowing a levy to be imposed on visitors to Stewart Island was passed in 2012. Mr Bolt says he is aware some accommodation providers are concerned about the impact of a bed tax, but his rubbish claims it would impact on visitor numbers.
If you take an example of a $250 hotel room, that's $12.50 for the room. If there's two people in it, that's $6.25 each. And many people spend more than that on just one drink in a bar. If people are put off coming here by a charge of $6, well, maybe that indicates that those visitors are not ones that are contributing economically to our district.
The levy would be payable by all visitors to the district, which includes Wanaka and Arrowtown, who stay for less than 4 weeks, including providers such as Airbnb hosts. It would be added to the visitors' bill by the accommodation providers. Without the levy, Council Chief Executive Mike Tearlin says it won't be possible to increase capital spending and the council will need to take on more debt.
We've analysed the expenditure that we know we have, which is the expenditure in this current 2018 to 2028 10-year plan. The figure that we've identified as being driven from visitor-related expenditure is around $374 million over that 10-year period.
While Freedom Campers are off the hook with the proposed measure, the council's Finance, Legal and Regulatory General Manager, Stuart Burns, says they remain in the council's sights.
We've recognised them as being an exception from the model as it currently stands, but we'll be looking at ways of getting a contribution from them in time. We don't have the answers for that today, I'm sorry.
Villa del Lago owner Nick Kittle says he and dozens of other accommodation providers are concerned about the levy as it unfairly targets one sector involved in the tourist industry.
We think that that's a bit of smoke and mirrors on the part of the council. There's no doubt about it that the obligation and the liability to pay the tax will be on the accommodation business. So whether or not we recover the money from the visitor, we will have to pay that tax. It's not the visitor that pays it, it's us that pay it.
The referendum papers will begin landing in residents' letterboxes on May the 14th, and preliminary results are expected on the day it closes, June the 5th. In Queenstown, for Checkpoint, Timothy Brown.